Welcome everybody. I'm JD along with Gail. How you
Hello,
doing
hello.
today? And you're tuned into Gail Force. We welcome you to the show. And in case you're trying to find us, you can find us on a couple different platforms. You can find us under YouTube, of course, under Gail Force Creations. You can find us under Facebook under Every Bit Matters. But I think the name you might want to search for is I have to look. Bring Back Liberty. That's it. If you do a search for Bring Back Liberty or Every Bit Matters, you'll find us there on Facebook. You can find us on BitTube under Gale Force and Steam It under Every Bit Matters. We kind of like Every Bit Matters. We're into cryptos,
Yes, absolutely.
even though not much has been happening with cryptos for the last 2 years, last year, year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any idea what the price is of Bitcoin?
Oh, Bitcoin. That's easy. That's Bitcoin right this minute is at 34.48, and Litecoin is up a little bit at 33.36.
Okay, so really not a whole bunch of news in the crypto world, but we got other things to talk about, and that's what we do here on Gale Force. We give you our views on stuff, and like I've always said, we don't tell you what to think. We kind of teach you how to think.
That
You know,
and make you question what you have been thinking.
that's true. Yeah, and boy, do we make you question things.
Oh, buddy.
By the way, I'm a little primed this morning. I had a couple honeydew lists I had to do. My wife talked me into going to a buddy's house to grab some of his garbage for him. Actually, it wasn't garbage, it was a refrigerator.
Okay.
An old refrigerator so we could store beer in and other things. And he followed me back to the house and he brought some great beers with him.
There you go.
So I'm a little toasty right now. And Gail doesn't help by putting some libations my way. So drink up, everybody.
Cheers, everyone.
So what's on the agenda today? Any idea what we're going to talk about?
Oh my gosh, where can we start?
Well, I know I'd like to hit a little bit on this new Green Deal. You know, we had the New Deal. That was
FDR?
no, it wasn't FDR. Did he do the New Deal? No, it was not after Kennedy.
Oh, no. You're not talking
The
about
Great.
FDR.
Oh, he was the Great Society. All right, so the New Deal.
LBJ was a great
Oh,
society.
okay, all right.
FDR was a New Deal,
The
the
New
chicken in
Deal.
every pot, and the car in every
That's it.
driveway.
So the Democrats are coming up with the new Green Deal. So I guess color matters, even though they want us to be colorblind. It's now the new Green Deal. And Gail brought something up that I can't believe I didn't figure out. I mean, this kind of slipped my mind, and then again, a lot of things slip my mind. Old age does that to you.
There you go.
But the Democrats always get on the top 1%. And anytime the Republicans do something for the country, they always give tax cuts to the top 1%. Well, who in the hell are the top 1%? I would argue, because Gail brought it up, and I can't believe I didn't catch this, but you'd have to argue that the top 1%, I imagine a vast majority of them
Are greedy Republicans.
No. Because, as you pointed out, Jeff Bezos,
Jeff Bezos,
Mark Cuban, he's probably a big Democrat.
Warren Buffett,
Warren Beatty, he's a big liberal.
Warren Buffett, Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, yeah, he ain't no Republican. Who's this guy, the Schultz, the CEO of Starbucks, who's planning on, the Democrats are going nuts because they're saying if he runs for president, that he could take votes away from the Democrats. He's a big 1%er.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then look at a vast majority of the people in Congress, you know, now that they're Democrats, they're probably the top 1%ers. So
and Bernie Sanders, he's living on welfare.
Oh yeah, he's living off the people.
Yeah. Worth billions. How did
look
he
at
get
this.
Billions?
Democrats, you're big liberals. Why in the hell are you complaining about the 1%ers when they're you? I mean, that blew my mind. I can't. That just.
Well, they're Marxist socialists.
Yeah. So you know, all you liberals out there, Democrats, saying you're going after 1%ers, you're just going after. You're eating your own, and don't come complaining to us, you know, independents or liberal. Well, we're liberal minded in the true sense of being liberal.
Correct.
Back in the old days, liberal meant you wanted
Just like
less government, less government.
just like capitalists.
Yeah.
In a capitalist system, if you go broke, you file bankruptcy and you go away.
Yeah.
You don't get bailed out.
Yeah.
Being
nowadays,
bailed out is not true capitalism.
yeah.
That's socialism and Marxism.
Yeah. So it just gets me. So from now on, when one of my good progressive friends talk about the 1%er, I'll just say, well, we're talking about your own party. So, but yeah, let's talk about the Green Deal, the new Green Deal. What are they calling her now? AOC. She's got her own acronym. Alexandria Ortega Cortez
Right.
is bringing out this new Green Deal. Wait till you hear this, folks. Now you think the Republicans give money away when they do these tax breaks for the rich. They say these tax breaks, they don't pay for themselves. Well, AOC, Alexandria Cortez, is going to give not millions, not billions, but trillions of dollars to the big corporations. Yeah.
For green energy.
For green energy, because she says we need a green society, we need green energy, we need a smart grid, right? And we need all these fantastic solar generating plants, and we need wind plants, windmills, turbines. Well, who's doing that? The government's not doing that.
It's your tax dollars.
It's big energy.
Through your tax dollars.
With your tax dollars. I mean, look, when they decide to do this Green Deal, it's going to be like Duke Energy and PG&E or whatever. These are the companies that's going to get your money to make us green. So, the wind plants, they're made by the big energy companies. That's who is making this equipment right now. And the solar firms, it's not some guy out of his garage making a solar farm. It's big energy. And now here's the Democrats. They want to give trillions of your money to these big corporations. So I don't want to hear it anymore from the liberals or the progressives saying that the Republicans just want to give your money away. It's the Democrats that want to give your money away. And, it's going to cost trillions of dollars to upgrade, to get us a new smart grid. And what is a smart grid? It's just another way to spy on you.
Absolutely. Your refrigerator and your microwave and your everything.
It's going to be talking to that, And then, what are they going to do with the coal plants? They're just not going to put these people out of business. They're going to have to subsidize them in some way to get them
to convert
to the new way. So it's just another way of the Democrats giving your money. It's both parties, right?
If they're in there for more than 2 terms, they're owned by somebody.
Yeah.
And if you think JD and I are talking hot air, consider this.
I'm considering.
JD and I didn't talk about this off camera. Just kind of popped into my...
We don't do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I'm considering.
Alrighty. Consider this. When bejesus was president and did all this stuff about the solar energy and the windmills and all these things, about giving the efficiency to cars and all these things, and hundreds of billions of dollars were given to companies. Go Google right now and show me how many quarters has Tesla ever shown a profit. Oh, by the way,
have they ever shown?
Either. And let's go. There's a duality there. Tesla cars has never shown a profit.
Oh, is he a Republican?
Yeah, there you go. Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Just asking.
Okay, but see, there's a two-edged sword there most people don't pay attention to. We're here in Central Florida and spent our lives growing up watching the shuttles go up and all these things. When's the last time you saw a government thing like NASA, the shuttle and stuff? Oh, wait a minute. It's not done by the U.S. government anymore. It's done by what's SpaceX? Oh, SpaceX is run by Tesla.
Or Blue Origin. Isn't that
Ah,
Bezos?
well,
Yeah.
good old Tesla's behind SpaceX.
Yeah.
Okay, so thousands upon thousands of people in NASA lost their job, and was all funneled through
Hmm.
Tesla, wasn't it?
I didn't think about that. Now, I did read some news about Tesla that he is giving away his patents because
Yeah.
he wants to make the world better.
Sure, he's giving it away.
Yeah, that's what I
And
read
I
on
once
the
caught a
that's what I
fish
read on the interweb.
this big.
Yeah. So, here they are. They want to spend trillions of dollars, and the government doesn't look. There's no such thing as government money, even though they want, Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. They want you to think that all the money out there is the government's money, and you're lucky to get whatever you get from your company. But there is no such thing as government money. The government money takes it from the taxpayers.
Correct.
That's you.
Debt.
That's you and I.
It's debt. A Federal Reserve note.
Yeah.
A note is debt.
It's debt. Yeah, exactly.
Actually,
And
a
that's what we
Federal
have.
Reserve note.
Yeah.
It's like if you go buy a car, it's a contract. It's debt
It's
that
debt.
you own the banking system.
Yeah.
Federal Reserve notes are debt that you own the banking system. And
Which is actually true. We'll have to do a show on one time to show people what banking actually is.
Oh, yes.
But here's these the Democrats and the socialists. They're going to push this new Green Deal. Now, look, I want to make sure, me and Gail, we're not anti-government. We're not anti-green energy. Look, if they can make a cheap solar cell or a nice windmill that's affordable and will provide some kind of power that you can actually use, I'm all for it.
I'm against corruption.
Yeah, I'm against taking other people's money. I'm against that. I don't know about you guys. I just don't think that one person should take another person's stuff.
Right.
This is my stuff. Don't take it. Now, if I want to give it away, I got no
That's
problem
your
with that.
choice.
I'm looking for Bernie Sanders to give something away. When's the last time he's given away except hot air or Alexandria Cortez? When is she
Or
going
giving
to
away
give
government
something?
money, which is just some more of your tax.
Yeah. So, I have nothing against green energy if they can do it, but to force it on us, that's another thing. To steal it from one man to just so they can get votes and say, look, I'm more compassionate than you because I care more about the world than you do. Well, nobody cares more about the world than I do because I don't want the world to go away right now, especially for my kids or my grandkids. If I have any, Christopher. Hang on just a second. Psst. Christopher, Ashley, grandkids. Not against, the world. Matter of fact, the world's a lot cleaner now than it was 300 years ago. I mean, thanks to capitalism, we have a fantastic look. The air is nice and crisp and dark out there. Well, that's the clouds. That's not pollution. The world is infinitely cleaner today than it was 300 years. Just imagine how it was 300 years ago.
About 300 years ago, about 100 years ago, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, there was so much pollution that the rivers would catch on fire from the pollution.
That's true. Not only that, they had to burn wood. They didn't have electricity. That's fantastic. They had to burn wood. So they would cut trees down forever just so they could have wood. And they didn't have that fantastic internal combustion engine. They had horses. So, and the roads were, they didn't have asphalt. The roads were like muck and mud and horse crap. And then they didn't have sewer systems and septic tanks, so they would take their, and they'd throw it out the window. I mean, it was just nasty. Just 100 years ago, it was capitalism that has cleaned up this world so much.
True.
But again, like I'm saying, we're not against green energy. We just don't think you should steal it and force it upon us. If the market can make it happen, if things get cheap, then I'm all for that. I mean, I would buy a solar cell right now if it was cheap. But right now, gas is $2 a gallon. And there's plenty of oil out there. Yes. I don't even, some people say it's fossil fuel, but I don't think they've even proven that yet.
No, they've never proved that.
Yeah, it's hydrocarbons, which is just naturally occurring, whatever. But again, all these big Democrats, You're giving money. I want you progressives to listen. You're giving money to big oil. Is that really what you want to do? I mean, you complain about the Republicans giving money to the rich with the tax breaks, but now you want to give money to big oil. I want to hear your response to that. Find the comment section, comment us. Send me an email at gailforcecreations@gmail.com and tell me, do you really want to give all our money to big oil? Because that's what you're doing. I mean, that's my thoughts on it. Do you got anything to add to it? I mean,
Well, the
I
thing
could
is,
go on and on and on about that.
it's not just big oil. They'll take, move, change, and adapt. It's like, if you don't believe that, look at General Electric.
Okay.
General Electric, you think it's electric. Okay. But they're into stuff for the medical industry. It's not just
CAT scans, engines for airlines.
Oh yeah, the GE turbine jet engines, kind of like Rolls Royce jet engines.
Yeah.
It's just not gas.
And incandescent light bulbs. So yeah, they are kind of polluting the world.
Yes.
So my thoughts are, look, I'm all for a green world, but don't steal from us.
Let's be real.
And don't be condescending to me and tell me that, the government's going to make smart grid and it's going to make green energy. No, it's going to be big energy. It's going to be big oil. That's they're the energy companies. So, I just hope you guys think about that next time you think of the Republicans giving money to the rich. And by the way, I think we just proven that most of the rich is Democrat anyway. I would imagine a vast majority, the biggest ones, especially the ones you hear about all the time in the news.
Yeah, because Trump used to be a Democrat.
Yeah.
He went Republican to run against Hillary.
Yeah. I mean, he was a good guy until he decided to run for president, and all of a sudden all the liberals flipped on him.
Right.
And they flip on everybody. Oh, you hear about that governor that they found his yearbook and he dressed up in a blackface? Or
30 years ago.
Nobody's going to run for office anymore if you're going to bring that kind of crap up. That's a whole nother story.
Calm down.
I'm coming down. I'm going to have another beer. Again, you can leave comments below, or you can send me an email at gailforcecreations@gmail.com.
Here's something to think about, people. And we'll get into this when one of these days we do a video of what money really is, what currency really is, and what the worldwide fractional reserve banking system is. But do you know what money is supposed to be?
You got some money on you?
I've got money.
Oh, that's pretty.
That's pretty. Money is supposed to be the money. It's supposed to be the representation of your labor.
Yeah, I call it a savings account of your labor.
It's a representation of your labor.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years ago, you went and you worked for the farmer. At the end of the week or the end of the month, he gave you so many chickens, so many eggs, some milk from the cow.
I mean, that
was a representation of your labor.
That was their currency. It's whatever you would barter.
But all money is supposed to be a representation of your labor.
Correct.
And this is what everybody's forgotten, is that you go to work, whether you're working for a factory, you have your own business, you're out mowing people's lawns, whatever you're doing, whatever you get in exchange is an exchange for your labor.
That's it.
Money is supposed to be a representation of your labor.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone takes it away from you forcefully, and don't say, oh, what do you mean forcefully? If you don't pay your taxes, they'll send these brain-dead goons called police to your house with guns, and if you don't submit, they'll beat you up and put you in a rape camp called jail.
Yep. It's just, it's a form of slavery. People just don't recognize that. I don't know how people don't, And when they take 100% of your labor, that's slavery, right? because when the
No,
slaves,
at what point is it
at,
slavery?
yeah,
Is it at 1%? Is it at 10%? Is it at 50%? Is it 100%? Oh, Garcia Cortez, she says 70%.
yeah. So if they only take 70% of your labor, you're still free according to her.
Right.
But if they took 100% of your labor, they would be against that because that's slavery.
At
Right?
what
So
percent
at
you become a slave?
what point are you not a slave? I would say I would go with the colonials back in the right before the Revolutionary War. I think 3%, because when they made a 3% tax on that breakfast beverage, we went to war against the biggest army in the world. So 3% sounds good. 3%, I'll go with that.
But if you see, they all the time talk about democracy. Okay, JD, when did you vote under a democracy? Democracy means you get to vote on it. When did you vote on paying 10, 15, 20% income tax? When did you vote?
Well, that's another argument because we do have a representative democracy but then again,
did you vote on it?
The representatives, Congress, is supposed to be there to make laws, to make laws against crimes. And a crime has to have a victim. Well, they want to pass, like you said, Alexandria wants a 70% tax. There's no crime committed. There's no victim, but she wants to take somebody's property when they haven't committed a crime. So taxation, if you look at it that way, is theft.
Correct.
I mean, theft is theft. Now, if they want to say that it's against the law to make gene cutting technology to make new humans, because there could be somebody hurt, another human being, there's a victim. A crime has to have a victim. Okay, but taxation is to run the government. It's to, like, we might need an army, or as progressives say, we need roads. Okay, well, I'll pay a tax for roads. I'll pay a tax for courts. I'll pay a tax for great or good policemen, but I won't pay a tax so you can give it to somebody else. Nah, I draw the line there.
Taxation without representation.
Yeah, as they said, look how it is with representation.
Gasoline tax was supposed to be for your highways.
Yeah, to build better roads and maybe pay for the highway patrol and
Correct.
Stuff like that. But now it goes for who knows what it goes for. Nobody knows what it goes. Like we did a show before, they did an audit. They can't find $30 billion somewhere. $30 trillion. I don't know what the number is.
It was between 21 and 30 trillion dollars.
So no telling where your money's going. I know where my money's going. We need more sound effects. I need to figure out how to do sound effects here.
Kind of like a Papa Top one.
When I was doing my radio show, we used to do that. All right, so what's next? Are we done on that subject, or are we want to carry on with Bernie Sanders? Well, there are some Democrats who aren't going along with this big tax thing. So
yeah,
a few, not enough.
But see, the thing is if you think JD and I are talking hot air, check something besides your American mainstream media. There is more propaganda and brainwashing in the United States than there is most countries around the world. You can just go out there and check the BBC. You can go out there and check the Daily Mail. You can go out there and you can do the. Of course, you don't want to believe everything Al Jazeera says, but
I mean, they got some good news out there. I mean,
Yellow Vest is a protest for being taxed too much.
I was just going to bring that up. We haven't heard anything lately on the Yellow Vest movement, and I haven't checked. I haven't had time to do much this week. Some of us have to work in order to pay taxes. But is it still going on?
Still going on.
And I know they're still doing a big thing about Bitrix and all kinds of crap going on. People here in America don't know what's going on in the rest of the world. Oh, man, I just talked about crypto news real quick before that. Japan, everybody wants to know what's going to be like to be a cashless society. I
Hmm.
just read today that they want to go to all cryptos.
Really?
Yeah, I'll send that to you if I can find it again. I don't remember, but Japan wants to do an experiment. I don't know. Everybody wants to do experiments. Like Venezuela, they did a great 20-year experiment in
Yeah.
democratic socialism, and man, they're doing really fine down there.
Hmm.
Man, you can get
Yeah,
a,
we're
a
just
nice dog meal, and if you're lucky, you might be able to get a rat. Who
that's
knows?
about it.
Yeah, but
If you're a common person.
yeah,
Now, if you're part of the party,
yeah. Oh yeah, what's going on down in Venezuela? Somehow we're going to tie that together with China or something. I don't know. What's going on with Venezuela?
oh,
Something about selling gold to buy
okay.
cows?
Venezuela has different
Oh,
debts.
hang on a second. We're now going into a new subject.
Okay.
Just, I don't know what we're going into, but we're going to.
Well, everybody knows that Venezuela's got one of the largest reserves of oil in the world. A lot of the rambling been going on for 10, 12 years, going back to Hugo Chavez and everything else is the oil in Venezuela. To keep things going, see, Venezuela has a lot more than oil. They have gold, they have minerals and stuff. And to keep his troops loyal and to try and feed some of the people of Venezuela, they've been shipping gold to Turkey and Syria. No, is it Syria or no, Syria.
I don't know.
And they've
I
been,
left that up to you.
yes, they're
He's.
trying.
Hang on a second. Gail is our research executive here. He
Yeah.
does all the research here for Gail Force. I'm sorry, hope I didn't get you off track.
Okay. Well, they sent a plane load of gold to Turkey and to uh, Syria to pay off some of their debt and to get euros, not U.S. dollars, euros, to be able to buy supplies and stuff like that to feed, to pay the wages of the military that's loyal and all these things. So not only are they trying to lock up the oil, now they're trying to lock down so that he can't take and use minerals, can't use gold. It's a clue. It's a coup, I mean. Right now it's a bloodless clue.
Clue?
Yeah. It's not a clue, but a coup. Coup.
Coup.
Okay.
Have another beer.
Have another. Well, let me have another. Hang
It's not actually bloodless.
on.
There's some blood being spilled down there.
Well, that's between factions of those that are loyal to the government and those that are loyal to the people. There's blood in the streets, but it hasn't got down to opposing military forces.
Yeah, there's not been a lot of bloodshed. I mean, a lot of massacre yet, but with any kind of democratic socialism, you're going to have mass graves pretty soon.
Pretty
So
soon.
before it gets better, it's most likely going to get worse. Because
Yeah.
that's just how socialism works. I mean,
Oh yeah, well, I mean, just look at the Yellow Vest. There's been several people die, and dozens of people had their eyes knocked out with rubber bullets, and hundreds of people put in jail because they don't want to pay their fair share of taxes. That's another con game by the liberals.
which nobody can define yet. If somebody can define fair share, I'll go along with it, but nobody can define it yet.
Fair means if you pay 10%, I pay 10%.
So things are pretty bad in Venezuela, and they're not trading much with the U.S. because, of course, we're the bad guys.
From their point of view.
So, I did see we're sending more troops to the border.
Yeah.
That's the Mexican border. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Mexican border, there's like, I can't remember what it was, another 3,700 people sent to the border, which will make like over 4,500 troops sent there to back up the.
So I can see pretty soon we'll be sending troops probably down to Colombia to keep all the Venezuelans in place because they should be loving their democratic socialism down there. And just to show it, we should build a wall in Colombia just to keep all the Venezuelans in their,
About a week ago, I called you up and told you that I had seen some videos of people, some cell phone videos. This is truth.
Yeah, I mean, when you see
When
it,
you take and go out there and you see something happening and you make cell phone video of the government sending tanks, and this is what happened down there in Venezuela. Citizens took pictures of tanks and armored personnel carriers going to the Colombian border because probably I haven't been able to find out yet, but the United States is probably sending observers. We'll call them
I
observers,
don't know
okay?
why they're
To Colombia.
complaining in Venezuela. It's a democratic paradise.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I mean, you get to eat all kind of exotic animals.
Yeah,
You know,
zebras and all kinds of stuff.
and you're not polluting, the place because you don't have toilet paper that you have to flush down the toilet, and just you don't have disposable diapers. I mean, it's got to be a paradise down there. And look at Maduro. He's probably living just fine.
He's living great.
He's eating lobster every night. I mean,
Hmm.
Venezuela looks like I can't wait till we have that here. It ought to be
Yeah.
fantastic.
He's like stuff like Chilean sea bass and all kinds
Yeah,
of stuff.
I mean they're doing just fine there in Venezuela. So
Argentinian wines. All
I'm
kinds of
waiting for Bernie and Alexandria to take a trip down there and show us how well it does, and then convince America how to do it. And you know who knows? Maybe they could convince China to throw us a little bit of socialism in there. Now that I brought up China, that's a nice segue. So what's
stuff. Not
happening?
that you would do that.
So what's happening with the trade? Trump's doing pretty. Look, I didn't vote for Trump, and people don't believe me, but I didn't vote the last election. I didn't have a dog in the race. For the first time in 40 years, I decided not to participate, even though, you know. Look, I get to complain because I didn't vote. You people who voted, you don't get to complain because either your guy won or your guy lost, and, you don't get to complain. Me, who didn't participate, I get to complain because I don't care who you are. We all got assholes up there, and we got a lot of assholes. Okay, but on to China.
On to
I
China.
just want to. One good thing Donald Trump is doing is he's probably going to pull off probably one of the biggest deals in history. Nixon did pretty good when he managed to get talks with China. He went over there and talked, and opened up China to the world. Nixon did pretty good. But Trump might do one better. He might pull off a great trade deal here. Now, I know Gail was telling me earlier that I didn't know this, and I haven't done the research. Now he saw it on this thing called the interweb or whatever, but I didn't realize this that you think China is really not hurting from this tariff war we have going, the trade war we have going right now, because right now we have high tariffs on products coming from China, and of course China has high tariffs on our stuff going to him or going to them. But you brought something up that maybe I didn't realize. I know the farmers are getting hit really hard, and they're complaining that the trade war is really hurting the farmer. But you have a different take on this, and I don't know. Maybe one of our viewers here will give us some info. Maybe we can find somebody who can actually do some real research here, because Gail, he does some research, but he doesn't have all this time. But what were you telling me about the farmers?
Okay, one of the things that Trump did, and it's good on the face, he went and got like almost $1 trillion for a farm subsidy thing because the farmers are hurting because of the trade deal and stuff. But there's something to think about. Now, China is behind the housing market bubble in Canada. China's behind the housing market bubble in Australia.
Well, explain a little bit of that.
Well, because the rich people, they were trying to get their money outside of China, so they started buying property in Canada, especially around Vancouver and stuff, and around Sydney, Australia, and it caused the housing market to skyrocket price. Well, they weren't able to buy that much housing in the Americas, but they bought tens of thousands of acres of farmland, and the farming that they're doing, they're exporting back to them, and they're claiming losses and bad crops and stuff like that, and they're using the farm bill to subsidize farmers to get extra money because they're claiming crop failure, but they're taking the grains and stuff and the soybeans and stuff back to China.
So they win either way.
Basically, they're getting their soybeans and stuff for free.
Hang on, I gotta show this. All right, back to reality.
It's so if you think
it's a screwed up world, folks. Don't try to understand it.
It's called the art of the deal, and there's several deals going on all at one time.
And he's probably going to pull it off. I actually saw Friday morning they had the live interview with Trump and some of the China representatives, and they were talking about they actually might pass a good trade deal. And a good trade deal would be just do away with most of the tariffs. You know, I could see a little bit of tariffs for each country to, you know, have some income coming in, and let the free market decide if they want to send.
They need there. Port fees and stuff like that.
Yeah, you got to keep the ports open. You got to have.
Well, you have to have port fees to help pay for the doggone bills of the port and the employees, the longshoremen union, and all the rest of the stuff.
Yeah,
you need some money for that.
Yeah, and to keep out the the fake. Ginseng and stuff like that.
Correct.
And the radioactive stuff.
Right.
And the drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the dirty bombs.
Dirty bombs. Yes. Right.
And the Mexicans, they all come through the ports too.
Right.
So, yeah, I never knew that. I never knew that China. So you're saying China owns a lot of farmland.
China owns quite a bit of farmland.
And are they selling a lot of their real estate in order to buy more farmland, or just so they can afford the property tax on on I don't know what the property taxes are on farmland. I mean, like here, in Central Florida, we live in a high tax county because we have the best schools. But I'm just kind of curious. Maybe China does own a lot of farmland. Is that possible?
Well, let's find out.
I can see I see our research department is on it right now as we speak. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, we definitely need sound effects. But I imagine they do. They do own a lot of property, and it would be a smart idea to own a lot of farmland so they could get their cheap soybeans. But then again, they need cheap labor. So we need to open the border so the Mexicans can be making the American soybeans that the Chinese own the land to ship it over to China. Boy, it's all interconnected.
Well, let's put it this way. The value of farmland in the United States last year soared to $17.4 billion and $42.7 billion total, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
Yeah. Huh?
That's farmland. That's not the products. That's the farmland.
That's the farmland. Yeah. But we don't know how many are owned by the communist China.
No, that's China.
Oh, that's just China? Oh, really?
That's how much China owns of our stuff.
Those damn communists. They're everywhere. They're not only in the House of Representatives, but they're now growing our food.
Yeah, China is now the largest group of foreign investors in the U.S. commercial real estate. And this is from Forbes magazine. Oh, I mean, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a nobody.
Jeez. Well, folks, I mean, you don't see that on the news, do you? I mean, when's the last time you saw that on ABC News or 60 Minutes? 60 Minutes ought to do something about China getting their free food because they own the land and getting paid subsidies by our government with your tax dollars.
Correct.
God, the more I say this, the more I just want to.
You need another beer, don't you?
Well, we don't have much time. We got about 5 minutes left. And it goes by fast when you're having fun.
And you're having fun.
Having a good fun. What have we missed?
Well, how about the craziness that happened out there in Orlando
Oh yeah,
International Airport?
hit it, man. People, this freaked me out. I knew somebody. I'll let Gail explain because I got to drink a beer.
Yeah,
What happened out in the AOI, as we call it here?
the OIA,
OIA?
Orlando
What
International
is it?
Airport. Yesterday, got all kinds of news flashes on his cell phone and the beep, the beep, the beep, 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 beep on the bottom of the TV screen.
How'd that go?
Yeah, beep, the beep, beep, beep. I could do it. I haven't had enough beers yet. A TSA worker. See, at Orlando International Airport, there's a hotel inside the concourse of the airport. I think it's Ramada.
No, it's Hilton.
Hilton.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. This TSA worker, to make some statement,
Wait,
a
hang on a
TSA
second.
worker,
Did you say TSA?
TSA worker,
Wait, government worker?
absolutely.
I thought they were all happy. Oh, I'm sorry.
All
Continue.
To make a statement about whatever. He supposedly took a dive out of a 6-story
He flung himself off
out the window, went kersplat on
in
the floor,
front of.
and people panicked and rushed to turnstiles to try and get in their planes to get away from it. They locked down Orlando International Airport, took everybody off the planes. I don't know how many thousands and thousands of people they unplaned and made them slowly go back through security check again. So,
You know, I don't understand that when something like they have to rescreen everybody. It doesn't. I'm sorry. The only government can think this way. But look, there is. What now that I think about it, this could be a movie plot. But do you think that some terrorist is really going to sit there and know exactly when some guy is going to fling himself off a balcony in order to be able to get through security to get on an airplane? Or,
only in
I
a
mean,
movie.
this is the plot. He tells the guy, it's your turn. You need to go commit suicide so I can sneak on that airplane so we can crash into the Everglades. I mean, I'm trying to, it doesn't make sense.
And Liam Neeson is going to play which person's part?
You know, it's bad enough these people had to see this guy dive off the balcony and splat. I mean, I'm sorry for him and his family. It's terrible, but to make these people have to go through hours and hours and go through a government line again. I mean, you think it's bad going to DMV, man? Go to the airport and have to go through the screening to be on an airplane and get your ass off the airplane to go through the beep beep. And here's another. This is what I don't get. Okay, you're traveling, you're getting ready to go through security, okay, and they open up your bag and they see, more than 6 ounces or 3 ounces or whatever, and this, of whatever it is, you have shampoo, but it's in too big a bottle. This could be a threat, this could be a bomb, or they find some device or whatever that could be a bomb or whatever. So what do?
They take everybody off the plane.
No, they throw the garbage right next to them. Next! And then this guy has some chemical or whatever that this could kill the world. What's he do? He dumps it in the garbage right next to him. Next! Oh, man, this could be a dirty bomb. I don't know, they take it and throw the garbage right next to him, and the garbage is sitting there till the end of the day. I mean, this thing could be filled with, how many bombs could be in that thing? Or how much, poison could be in this, and they just throw it in the garbage. Next! You think that this thing is that terrible. If you can't take it on the airplane, my God, we better have, a robot take this outside to the other side of the airport. They just throw it in the garbage. Oh, yeah. You can't take that toothpaste on there. Throw it in the garbage. Oh, no, you can't. Scissors, that can hurt somebody. Throw it in the garbage.
A cigar
Well,
cutter.
now, some guy's going to say, I hear you. I know it's the end of the show. Shut up. Some guy. It sounds like you. Cancel. It won't shut up.
Okay, how about a cigar cutter?
There
to
we
nip
go.
the end off a cigar cutter.
Yeah, so if there's
What am I going to do? hold you up against the cabin wall and circumcise you with a cigar cutter?
No,
How dangerous is a cigar cutter?
what I'm thinking is a great terrorist would run up and grab that garbage bag and then run on the airplane. He's got it made because everything you need's in that damn garbage bag.
Right. Well,
Don't make sense.
JD is kind of wound up. So what we're going to do here, we're going to start finalizing this.
Yeah.
You can find us on
we made it a good show.
At Gail Force Creations, on BitTube at Gail Force, and on Facebook at Every Bit Matters.
And Steam it, Every Bit Matters. And we're going to try to do a couple other library. Have you heard of that? That's the new blockchain thing.
No,
LBRY. LBRY kind of like stands for library. It's like another BitTube.
Okay.
I might put it on there because they've been bugging me. But yeah, again, and if you like this show, hopefully we got a couple good laughs. If not, we kind of hope to, make you think a little bit.
Couple old guys getting kind of wound up. Just forget about it.
Do us a favor and right about there, you can subscribe to the channel
and like.
That way. And that way you can kind of like us. We'd appreciate it. I mean, we're not pressuring you. But if you vote for me, I will give you free likes and free subscriptions for the rest of your life. You like that? I mean, look, I'm like any good Democrat. Vote for me, and I'll give it to you free. I'll give you all the free likes. Right? Yeah, that's it. It's funny. You can't lie to Congress without going to jail, but man, they can lie to you all they want. We hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to do it again next Sunday. We do new big shows like this every Sunday, and then we'll do updates throughout the week.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see some of yours.
All right.
So you can be as spiffy as me.
Okie dokie.
Again,
may not be as good looking. But
yeah, I have to say, I'm JD. I'm the good looking one. He's the smart one over there. There you go. He's the smart one. It's backwards. Isn't that weird? All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to the Gail Force, and we'll see you next week. Drink better beer.